我哋又翻到嚟 Not For Podcast 吓，意外來信咩嚟㗎？呢個我以為我要行添。團隊想要了解我，我好好奇，於是我開題㗎啦。有一個新先進黨政府嘅表格，佢想要所有公民嘅信息。咩啊？呢個係我嚟㗎。我係女仔嚟㗎，因為我係男仔添。然後我有個女同個仔，即係我要係咯。佢係想我有壓力，高考，我會高考。另一個部門嘅同事同你透露，佢一直將機密信息，依家唔見嘅。我報唔報呢件事咧？我會勸我個同事報呢件事啊！有人俾人炒咗。吓，我唔會呢兩個啦，定。但係我唔覺得我需要加班就得啦。我覺得我平時都會做到。但係我按時下班我收到邀請。有時間先去咯，依家要退休啦。係咯，我會講呢個。啊，唔係喎，我應該會講美好回憶嘅。我會呢一個人放鬆打機，自然嘅美景，探索未知嘅地方。探索未知嘅地方有咩用啊？呢個自由簽名咁點啊？家私我咩都冇嘅，天色已晚，係我真係女仔嚟嘅。有人敲我個窗，係佢阿妹，佢做乜嘢啊？幫你啲咩？發生咗啲咩事啊？用血汗錢嚟幫助啲難人，收入排喺前1% 嘅人，係咯，太可怕啦！借用我個護照。我覺得護照唔可以借俾人咯。係咯。無論發生咗啲咩事，我覺得我個護照都唔可以俾人哋咯。唔係因為犯法嘅問題，係因為都唔 OK 成件事。即係如果你走咗，咁我想走嗰陣，咁我點算好？唔係，我唔覺得係自私嘅問題，我覺得係成件事唔合邏輯咯。後果？我以為我唔借 passport， 然後有啲咩後果？呢個咩嚟㗎？啊，我要聽電話。食屎啦！佢自己走咗路。佢嘅客人，佢有咩客人？咁呢個有咩用啊？係咯，呢個有咩用啊？風扇。然後咧？哦。Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? 開始播放嗎？呢個玩具安全嗎？唔俾我放嘅，咩意思啊？咁我唔應該放呢個先進黨，我唔中意呢一個黨。
佢有講嘅，佢有講係關於咩嘅，其實唔得啊，唔該呢個護膚品 OK 啊。
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
廣告都會影響成件事。
Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice then.
但係好緊張啊！我要自己控制所有嘢啦，因為嗰個 David 走咗。
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Rimming Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense if this influential young firebrand at the tender age of 23 becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's title name was to Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Moore and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen with socialite and performance artist Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Griever's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an advanced sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, a mega move for a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
轉翻嘅。
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets the beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight.
佢哋全部都唔似係政治人物嘅。
1 minute back.
佢哋全部似係
I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by?
我唔想聽呢個廣告啊！
How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though.
好好睇
Right, mate, see you later, bye!
佢哋嗌交私底下，唔知現實係咪都係咁嘅？佢唔中意嗰個男仔啦，嗰個主播可以重玩㗎。點解我咁低分㗎？我明明覺得自己做得好好咯，純粹係轉得快咗。
I'm just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of wording, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Little Jakey's going to the big bad culture reporter.
If that sticks, I'll just...
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance, they are calling a solutions team. to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Oh, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on.
我喺
The problem
現
isn't
場
a
食過
local
呢
one,
啲嘢。
Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need.
我係咪應該
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes.
其實係咪因為啲觀眾好中意睇
Quite
呢
the
啲
picture of a
嘢，所以
burdened
先
legal
會
sector there.
上
Gregory
升
Judge, thank
收
you for
視
joining
率？
us. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we
yeah,
all
you
long for
are,
a return
yeah.
to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night,
但我
looking
開始
in through
明
windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly.
嚇
It's all in
係
the
歧視
Bible.
嘅
Look, Leviticus clearly states
咩
that...
事啊？佢基
Bugger,
嘅。
hang on a moment. Jeremy,
Could you
play
accept-
deep
what?
state. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear?
我掛住睇咯。
As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And
佢
just to
仲
be
香
clear,
港
you
耶
think it's the
穌咯，
immigrants
唔
who
係
are
話呢啲唔
responsible
OK，
for
但
the
係你
moral
咁樣
decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
I'm sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You've got back in your dim space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this...
Where's the paddle?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do.
定大家都想睇啊？
Clive, I am not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy,
佢仲要覺
moral
得冇問
decay.
題咯。
Crime is the responsibility of the criminal.
佢係警
No
察嚟
one
㗎
else.
喎。
Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us.
好明
And
顯就
finally
冇道
tonight,
德㗎啦，係咪？
hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison.
我覺得佢係咪會係最正常嗰個？雖然佢傷人，
Menacing a swamp. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe,
係佢生日啦。
many happy returns, Tony. Many happy
Cheers,
returns.
Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that.
必唔
Can
切
you。tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's
好
quite
難
nice,
別喎，佢
but
得一個字。
it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, Titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my
好
friends are
彩
throwing me
佢
a
會
surprise
提
party.
示咯，即係譬
Good
如
bunch
突
of
然間
lads.
呢度轉
Okay,
就
well,
會
we're
有
trying to
聲
get back
提
to
示。
that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that,
佢係
Jez.
咪淨係識呢個字嘅咋？咩事啊？
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
佢唔需要啦，係
All the
咪
boys are
啊
here. Big Chris, little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
佢咁有錢，佢女朋友啊？
This one's, yeah.
One sec, love. Titwang Tony's on the news. One sec, love. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. What now, fellas?
好難 beat 啊！勁似玩音樂遊戲啦呢一邊。
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues
係完全幫佢唔到咯。
After the break,
不過坐咗3年監，其實係咪算少？
Don't go away.
播邊個
We'll be back after these messages.
？Yes，啱啱好。
1 minute back, everybody.
Oh, mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip: when the music
Turn
starts,
down
turn down the podcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up.
其實有咩用啊？我使乜開啊？
Looks right, I've got this.
係咪應該遲下會多啲嘢就會火燭嘅？
How can it be? This is new. 10 seconds, everybody. We're gonna open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5.
啊，佢同我講啊。
3. Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do it.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes.
其實張 sofa 可以再大啲咯，佢哋坐得好尷尬。哎呀，我有咁錯啊！
Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle believed. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing.
佢好擔心喎成個
We
人。
touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I.
我以為
we often
佢
laugh
機
about
係
it.
同佢一齊。
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
佢係恥笑緊佢
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
嚇！你要喺度
Put it in context. I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like
係好事定唔好事啊？
maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a
尷尬
little
咯
chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it.
其實數學老師指導嘅我都覺得 好得去邊可以。
So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago.
2日前。
arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it
我
was
係
all
咪
a
應該
prank.
影佢哋
His
換衫
secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin.
嚇
But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they
換
ran a
衫
number
我
at
唔
the
係應
bottom
該
of the
俾
page.
大家
And
睇
next
咩？
thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote.
你咁樣
We're
講
not
出嚟
very
嘅
political.
OK 咩？
I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic.
Ah.
But we did used to watch that Peter Clements
Let's
DIY
see,
show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole
佢個反
democracy
應好好
thing.
笑咯。
And here we bally
我發現
well.
全部人都係癲㗎。
Brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
1定2啊？4啊。
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
咩事啊？我睇緊啲咩啊？
Around
頂
the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first
好
year.
難啊呢
Great!
個。
I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent
我覺得
father?
都係用呢個容易啲啊。
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
佢明明都唔係咁諗嘅。
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck.
佢唔記得
Keep
咗。
going for fuck's sake!
Right. Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free coat.
Brilliant, keep going!
Right. Who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends.
點解佢會
Vanessa
變
is
咗係
captain
佢
of
嘅
the
朋友
netball
嘅？
team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my
佢啱
own.
啱後邊嗰個走咗啫嘛。要唱歌啦，唔好啊！呢個鏡頭廢嘅喎，發
Take a
現。
look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you.
我要跟呢個。
And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen
邊個啊？
if you work as a team.
好似係撳錯衫。
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
佢會走音啊？
Hey, listen up. I won't take no
rap 咯
crap.
咩事啊？
You said middle class girls can't rap. I ain't afraid of your crew laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
好難啊呢個。
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist.
係咪都有押韻嘅？其實好似勁低分啊！我想
I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner. He had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready!
Where's my dinner, woman?
其實得唔得寫好啊？
Make me ask you again.
swimming is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate.
好尷尬咯！如果佢哋真係中學做呢啲嘢，會勁尷尬。大個啦睇翻。佢勁啊！我勁想播呢一幕出嚟。佢哋四個勁似弱智咯。
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship.
係咪？耶！我覺得自己做得好好。好樣衰啊你！求下你唔好再笑啦。
Join us tomorrow night for the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
Yes.
And we're out.
仲有一幕啊
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe
係藝術咯，咩事啊
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
誒完咗啦 ！D 我上次有試過喎，睇埋嚟之後先。哎呀，我第一個拉低咗係咪啊？我覺得呢個 C 算啦，我都唔知。一張數額較少嘅扣發工資嚇，點解我俾人扣人工啊？好傷心喎！咩意思啊？個心爛咗，即係我玩得好差。但係好，我哋呢一集就到完，我哋下一集翻嚟就繼續睇下。我會唔會勁快就俾人炒咗？咁我哋就下一集再見，拜拜。